The EAS have worked very hard with the school over the past 4 terms since I've been instated as acting head teacher here. They've provided us with plenty of support when we needed it. They've been at the end of the phone. I must acknowledge the hard work of the Welsh team, especially Jonathan Rees and Ellen Roberts, who provide excellent opportunities for professional development for my staff, and also any training needs. There is a clear link there that their training is bespoke for our school and for our needs. So I really have to and congratulate them on their hard work. And I also have to congratulate the role of the challenge advisor. We've had a challenge advisor who's been completely honest with us, and she's had to deliver some tough messages at times, but I always had that feeling that they were working alongside us and not doing things to us. So that relationship was open, honest, and always very constructive. So I think that relationship and that partnership has really helped Ysgol Gymraeg y Ffin move forward.
I was the governor before we had the EAS, when it was still the county, and then it obviously, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago it joined all up together, and the EAS took over from county. I think one of the good things about that and having the EAS instead of everybody doing it themselves is that there's a bigger pool of resources and advice from a wider range of, I don't know, experts, for lack of a better word. If somebody in Monmouthshire doesn't know, they can find out from somebody in Newport, you know, etc. So I think that's valuable. Another good thing that the EAS has done for us with the categorisation in particular is we've had a lot of input from the challenge advisor, and a lot of help to help bring up standards, and it hasn't all been negative. It's been looking at what are the strengths and can we build on those. So the EAS has been quite good with that as well.
I think the really positive thing about working in the South East Wales region is the sense of direction and purpose that the region has got. Our focus is entirely on learning and raising standards of our learners in schools, and the agenda is very much about sharing good practice among schools and helping schools to improve collectively rather than as individuals. One of the things about schools is that you can't have a blueprint that will fit across all schools. You can't impose a plan and a system on schools because schools are so different. But you can share practice and allow schools to learn from that and develop their practice in their context. In our schools, there have been a couple of instances where things have improved really positively for us. One of them has been a stand-in teacher in numeracy and mathematics. I think that's been great to see one of our members of staff actually develop through that process as initially being the recipient of some sharing of practice, and then developing to become an excellent and outstanding practitioner himself, and see that develop and feed through the practice in every classroom in our school. It's been really positive. In fact, it's been so positive he got a deputy headship in another school as a result. So it's been too positive in some respects, but it is good.
The input of the EAS in our school has mainly been enabling us to do things with other schools, school-to-school work through the medium of Welsh. Through the support we've had from individuals in the EAS, and various grants, we've been able to work closely with schools in other regions and Welsh medium schools within the region as well, which is some things we weren't able to do in the past. We do the work together, but we weren't financed to do it, and we weren't supported in doing it.
So I'm English coordinator for Penicum, and last year the EAS schools collaborated together with phonics, and we pooled our resources and pooled our expertise, and we talked about how phonics is best delivered within a special school, and looked at strategies and ways to improve phonics within schools. So I had quite a few meetings with the English coordinators at the other schools involved in the EAS, and we worked together. It's really good.
I mean, we actually have school-to-school working, so the EAS will facilitate that arrangement. The EAS have supported head teacher group meetings, so when we've shared initiatives, for example, Thrive. Thrive is something we've actually brought on board for pupil wellbeing at Penicum, And we've been able to be an ambassador school for that within the EAS, and we've actually been able to facilitate training for the other special schools to make them more aware of the Thrive initiative and to deliver the practitioner training, which has proved incredibly successful here at Penicum, and in fact is now well embedded in the special schools across the EAS. So if a school is actually able to see something which is of significance or something of importance, the EAS group then arranges for that to actually be shared in terms of best practice.
Obviously, in categorisation or banding as it was before, we were quite lowly banded when it first came in. We received a lot of support from the EAS of how to improve in various areas, and that enabled us to move to the top end of it, and we're now yellow and so on, and hope to go even further. I think it's always difficult in a smaller county such as Monmouthshire, where we only have 3 other schools to compare with, whereas in the EAS, of course, I believe it's about 56 secondary schools, and of course then you get the data and so on from them, being able to have a look at that and have a look where you can put implement different measures to help yourselves to perform.
I think a good example of where the EAS has been successful with the school, a recent example, is with its work with the English department, where they identified a problem, they supported us in looking at schemes of work, exam technique, and work with the staff. And the results this summer have shot up and really proved that partnership with them is a successful partnership for the future.
We're part of the Newport Consortium, and it's a big area. There's lots of, they set up lots of sort of school links. I've been on training in the last 2 years at St Julian's Primary and at Glenesk Primary, which is always a little bit more rich than going and being trained by somebody in a, outside of a school. It's much better to get into a school and see things happening in practice, talk to other professionals who you can see what they've done, see where they've gone with things, see what's worked, see what hasn't worked, and pick up on their ideas to bring back to school. There's the team at EAS are particularly strong as well. Myself, new into class, I've dealt with the Welsh team rather a lot, and had support from the English team and the numeracy team as well. And they're a really friendly bunch. They're always very keen to say, if you're stuck, email us and we'll help. And they're always quick to return emails to get back with information that you've requested, and usually a little bit more as well, just to sort of let you know that they are there should you need them again.
And I've seen the advantages of EAS this last couple of years. Unfortunately, when I was a borough councillor in Blaen y Gwent, I went through 2 inspections with Estyn in 2008 and 2012. And we were saying the same things to Estyn about there was no really progress in education in Blaen y Gwent. Well, that turned out, as we know, from what happened with the special measures in Blaen y Gwent. But then EAS was born. And I've got to be honest, we were very, very happy. It was like a breath of fresh air coming into our area in Blaen y Gwent, because we found the team from EAS and the challenge advisors very, very supportive, new way of thinking, etc. And it has benefited us no end at all.